I got data that is about to flip everything that you think that you know about the job market. 92% say that they are hiring in 2026, but 55% of those same companies also plan to lay you off. So let's talk about something that nobody wants to say out loud. And we've been saying this for quite some time, and I know many of you guys are reading the data just like I'm reading it. If you're 45 and you get laid off, the data says that you're less likely to find a new job than someone 20 years younger. Even with twice the experience, the data shows that you're less likely to find a new job. Workers 55 and older have the lowest reemployment rates of any age group. And when they do find something, it takes 20 more weeks than it did in 2023. 20 extra weeks. That's 5 months of waiting, of applying, of silence. I want you guys to type 45 in the chat if that hits you, man. Especially if that hits you close to home, okay? Let's talk about a couple case studies that I came across. I came across a case study of a young lady named Linda. I want to say young, but she's really 52, so that's not young, it's middle-aged. Director of marketing, 19 years at the same company, loyal, dedicated. She got laid off. Linda did what most people do. She updated her resume, listed her 19 years of experience, applied to everything, 300 applications, 11 months, finally got an offer, 30% pay cut. Now, here's the thing. Linda, she didn't do anything wrong. She followed the old playbook, but the old playbook doesn't work no more. That's the truth. That's the truth. The old playbook doesn't work anymore. You know, you playing a Madden or something like that, or NCAA football. There's a playbook that's out there, and every time you throw a pass, it's an incomplete pass. Every time you try to run the ball, you get hit in the backfield. That's the playbook. That's the old playbook. It doesn't work anymore. Let me tell you about David, a 51-year-old finance manager, 16 years tenure, also got laid off. Same situation as Linda. Different approach. David saw what was happening. Instead of mass applying, he took 12 weeks, got certified in Python and SQL for finance, learned how to build automated forecasting models. Then he rebranded himself, not as a finance manager with 16 years of experience, but as an FP&A manager with Python and SQL for automated forecasting. That's David's situation. David said, you know what? I gotta make a change here. So he didn't hide his experience. He weaponized it. 25 years of pattern recognition, plus modern technical skills. That combination landed him enroll in 90 days. 15% above his previous salary. He's making all kinds of money. I want you guys to type David in the chat if you see the difference. That's the difference, guys. Now here's the lesson. Here's what separates Linda and David. Because same age, right? 51, 52, same experience level, 19 years, 20 years of experience, same market. Linda positioned herself, and she should position her tenure in her credential. She positioned her tenure as her credential. I've been in the game for 19 years. I know what it takes to do this. I'm the boss. I've been doing this for a long time. You can't tell me nothing. David said, I got the tenure. I also know exactly where the future is going. And I know how to do the grunt work. And I know how to do everything else. Here's the data that proves that David's approach worked. Workers 45 and older with AI skills are commanding salary premiums of 35% to 56% over peers without those same skills. 35 to 56%. And that ain't a small bump. That's a whole different tax bracket. Age ain't the liability. Dated positioning is the liability. And positioning can completely be fixed in 90 days with the right strategy. Type positioning in the chat if that makes sense to you. It's not doom and gloom, guys. It's what is the market telling you? What is the data telling you? And are you following it? Are you getting your sources the right way? Are you joining the groups that you need to join? Are you listening to the right people you need to listen to? Are you joining the Patreon and becoming part of Life of Cam's AI tutoring? This is exactly what David did. Forecasting, SQL. Now he's an FP&A forecasting analyst, making all kinds of money. So that's the human element, guys. Linda and David. Same circumstances, different outcomes. Now let's zoom out a little bit, because here's the thing. What's happening to individuals is connected to what's happening just about everywhere. You're talking about the private sector. You're talking about the public sector. You're talking about the same pattern. And many of you guys probably didn't think about that, but it's the reality, okay? It's the reality. It's across every single sector, and you need to know that. And I'm going to show you guys right now. Let's talk about the macro picture. Let's talk about the big picture analysts. Okay, here's the thing. You're seeing individual companies making a lot of these big moves, decisions that's affecting a whole bunch of people. But here's the thing. It's part of a bigger pattern. The Business Roundtable, that's the organization of Fortune 500 CEOs. They survey members every single quarter. And here's what Joshua Bolten, their CEO, said. And I said this before, again, in previous live streams, but I just want to connect it all. So I'm going to say it again. More CEOs plan to reduce employment than increase it for the third quarter in a row. That's the lowest three-quarter average since the Great Recession. All right. Since the Great Recession, that was 2008 and 2009, I recall. So that's the comparison. Here's why this matters. When CEOs plan hiring, jobs appear 6 to 12 months later. When CEOs plan reductions, cuts happens fast. And that means right now. So the CEOs running the Fortune 500 are planning reductions, not across the board, but in specific areas, which brings us back to the paradox. 92% hiring, 55% firing. Same companies. They're hiring in AI, they're hiring in automation, they're hiring in efficiency, but they're cutting in legacy systems. They're cutting in middle management, and they're cutting in coordination roles. That's what the data is showing us. I'm just giving you guys the data. Don't get mad at me. Antoine didn't do anything. Antoine just giving you the data. I'm an analyst. That's all I'm doing. I'm playing the role of an analyst. Let's talk about Bank of America, because Bank of America is where markets went. And Bank of America is a good company. So we're going to give them some credit. We're going to give them some shout outs. The CEO, Brian Moynihan, CEO of Bank of America, said last week, out of 200,000 applications, we select 2,000. 200,000 applications, 2,000 selected. That's a 1% acceptance rate at one bank for campus recruiting. Type 1% in the chat if you see that. That's crazy wild. But that's the competition. That's why positioning matters more than volume. It's a 1% out of 200,000 applications, only 2,000 is selected for campus recruiting. That's crazy. But that's the world that we live in right now. That's the competition that you have. That's why positioning yourself and making sure that you are competing in this world of AI and doing the things that nobody else does gives you a leg up. 92% of companies are hiring. 55% of those same companies are firing. Same companies, both directions, hiring and firing. Your job is to position yourself on the hiring side, not the firing side. That means understanding where capital is flowing. Where is the money going? The money is leaving a trail. The money is going towards AI, automation, and efficiency. And building skills that align with that flow will keep you on the hiring side. Building skills that don't allow for you to go into that direction where the money is flowing, you're going to be on the firing side. Or not building skills at all and waiting to make a decision, you're going to be on the firing side. Okay? That's the first takeaway I want you guys to understand. Takeaway number 2, AI is just the excuse. It's not always the cause. 59% of companies admit that they highlight AI because it just sounds better and it makes the company looks good and it tickles Wall Street. Gives Wall Street a little tickle. Oh, they're hiring because of AI, or they're firing because of AI, and stock goes up. So of course they're going to manipulate the system because that's a playbook right now. But only 9% actually replace roles with AI. So don't panic about AI taking your job just yet. Focus on AI to make yourself more valuable, like David did, like Joe Deepa did, like the Blackstone CTO does every single weekend. Take 3. Adaptability is the new job security. It's not tenure. It's not what you knew. It's not how long you've been there. It's not loyalty. It's not your degree. It's your ability to change with the market. That's what protects you. And you can build that ability starting today. Here's what I want you to do. One thing. Number 1, if you haven't hit subscribe on the channel yet and you aren't subscribed, hit subscribe. Simple. I want to see the subscriber numbers go up. If you're tuning into this show and you've learned anything from today, or if you just hate my guts, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Don't watch the show. If you hate me, that is. If you love me, continue to come back. We welcome you to the group. But on a serious note, the number 1 thing that you should be doing is auditing your role through the AI lens. Ask yourself, what 30% of my tasks could be automated? What 70% requires human judgment? Then spend the next 30, 60, 90 days getting better at the 70% and then learning how to use AI for the 30%. That's the positioning play. Okay. Now, if you can't catch a live stream because you're too busy, you got a company call, you got meetings, whatever it is, you want to sleep in, you're not feeling good, make sure you are subscribed to our newsletter. Every single weekday, you get a full recap of everything that we've talked about, everything that we've covered, the data, the stories, the strategies, delivered straight to your inbox at 11:30 a.m. Central. Link is in the description of this video. Do it now. Thank you. Appreciate you. And again, if this show has helped you, make sure you hit the like button. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. We are here every single weekday, 7 to 7:30 a.m. Central. That's the time that we start, and then we go until the show is over. We are building something together. We are climbing together. Okay?